mic wasn't on. No. Don't you hate when you record it and then the mic don't be on? Anywho, child, the people are upset that it's really not meant to be. Mint used to be the personal finance OG app for everyone. It showed you how funny your money was, meaning it will show you what's going on in your account to what's the accountability in your spending. And people just was getting upset about it. And for the last couple of months, I've been building up when it comes to social media content, to blog content, and now to this about even though Mint is going away, they don't mean that your money has to stay funny. All right, so boom. So my name is Nadia. I'm a financial advisor as well as an educator when it comes to personal finance, and I help people understand their wallet while they build their wealth. Because people are, I want to be a millionaire, but you don't understand your means, and that's why I'm here for you. So going back to what's going on with Mint, and a lot of people are up in arms trying to figure out the best personal finance apps to better get their money together. January is financial wellness month, and just people honestly just taking a step back is that this pandemic has made people ponder what's going on with their money, whether it's being pandering of companies coming after your money because they lost some money anyway, or you just really want to understand. I was stuck in a house for 4 years, and this is where I am. Granted, some people can't; they can do what they can do, but the pandemic really did a great reset for people focusing on their funds. And I want to give you 5 apps, not just necessarily budgeting apps or anything like that. 5 apps that can actually help you get your money together or your financial house together in 2024 and beyond. So I really have been talking, like I said, I've been talking about this on different platforms, but I really wanted to talk about these 5. They could be like your starting 5 in a sense, if you want to say it like that. But these 5 things are apps that are platforms that can actually help you online. So the first thing I want to actually call out before I get into those apps is the thing that you probably seen me talk about saying audit your wallet. The first thing when it comes to audit your wallet is actually looking at your wallet or your bank statements and credit card statements to figure out how I've been spending, how have I been funny with it or effing up, and how I've been actually building the bag or fumbling it. Let's just go ahead and call it. How have you been fumbling the bag, and how have you been actually funding the bag? Let's keep it like that. So whenever you do look at your bank statement as well as your credit card statements and then align it to what your budget is, you're going to be seeing there's some things that you might need to look around. And when I say audit your wallet, that's pretty much what it is. You audit to see what you're doing right, meaning how are you funding your bag, and audit to see where you're fumbling it. And then you make a alignment to your financial goals. We're going to be talking about financial goals in another video, but how are you aligning to your financial goals? Because you can sit there and say, I want to be able to have this much FIT funds or FU funds, but within my budget, I can't really do that because I overspend on Target or Sephora or Nike or Nordstrom or anything that I see that TikTok shop tell me to buy. Just keeping it funny, just keeping it funky. But the thing around it is that for you to fully understand what apps or what budget or what you need to be doing or whatever, you need to figure out what you're currently doing to make sure that you're actually going down that pathway. So, I was telling you to audit your wallet and to look at your financial goals. Whenever you go into any platforms, I'm gonna give you a heads up is that some of these platforms are not like what Mint used to be. Because I have a feeling that Credit Karma is gonna get rebranded. Mint used to be free. It had a free and a fee. On my blog, I talk about the free and the fee portion of it because I noticed a lot of personal finance apps or money apps are actually moving from the free tier to it's a fee. So whenever you do look to these apps and you're noticing what the UX and design of it, look to see how much it's going to be. You might have to. Sometimes you have to spend a little money to make sure your money is not being funny. So when it comes to these apps, think about, like I was telling you about the dashboard or user experience, but also look to what you're going to potentially be paying to utilize the app. And keep in mind is how much am I willing to pay to actually make sure that my check is moving from just being paycheck to Monday to actually being a actual money cycle that actually works. So keep in mind that yes, it may be a fee, but how is it going to help you get free of any money issues that you have? So just look at the UX, look at the fees, look at is the customer service okay? Look at certain things of that nature before you actually go buy the apps. And a lot of these apps, interestingly enough, they do have a fee to them, but they do have a free trial. So if it gives you a free trial, do it the same way that you do any other free trial. Go ahead and put the email in that you have, and then you have to keep extending it. But keep in mind that you utilize that free trial to understand how it fit into the tactical aspect when it comes to your personal finance. So I just want to interject with that real quick. So one of my favorites that I am using right now within my financial planning is Monarch Money. It looks good. It's the interface is good. The thing around Monarch Money is that it's aligning zero-based budgeting with gamification into one platform. And it makes budgeting fun and engaging. And even though budgeting can be a daunting task, it's something that we have to freaking do because we're adults. If you're an adult yet and you want to learn about budgeting, I love it for you. But the thing I love about it is that it aligns zero-based budgeting, but it builds within your clear spending boundaries. You know, boundaries is a big word for everyone in 2024. So when it comes to your financial boundaries, it allows that to be seen within the interface of the app as well as online. So the next one is online. It's actually three budgeting apps that I'm going to be bringing up in this video, and this is the next one. The next one is Empower. Empower had a rebrand, and now, honey, they are trying to help you boost your emergency fund and savings. And interestingly enough, just aligning a little bit. The thing that's different between Empower and Monarch is that Empower, interestingly enough, has their own high yield savings account. If you looked at my old video, one of my older videos, that you probably noticed me talking about high yield savings accounts, Empower has their own freaking high yield savings account. How amazing is that? And that is called Empower Cash. They have a strong APY. APY is pretty much what you're going to get paid to save back from the platform. The thing around I'm noticing when it comes to Empower is that they're noticing what people didn't like about Mint, and they don't like about Credit Karma and build it into the interface. Interestingly enough, I'm noticing Empower as well as Monarch Money doing the same thing. And you probably are noticing that they're going to give you a free trial, especially if you're migrating your budgeting interface and things from Mint, and you want to integrate within that. I believe Monarch as well as Empower as well as what's the other one I want to talk about? And YNAB pretty much are all saying if you're migrating from Mint, this is a free trial. So keep that in mind. But what I'm noticing about Empower is that it gives you something called, it's a tool that they have called Boost. Boost will allow you to pretty much round up the change in a sense. Sound like somebody else we know, right? I'm going to insert who that is. So the Boost pretty much rounds up anything or any spending or anything that you probably would have done to your savings. So if you have an emergency savings and you only spend $50 and they're going to $47.99, they're going to round up the change over to your savings goals. I love that, and it's going to instantly boost your savings. And the thing I love about it is that it allows you to make those savings goals, seeing where you could actually align more to them, and then make suggestions. No matter if it's your emergency fund or your vacation plans or anything like that. The thing around it though is whenever you're using not only Empower but any kind of app, figure out what are you looking for from that app. Figure out what kind of features or functionality or UX that you're looking for. So from what I've noticed is that when it comes to Empower's platform, that it is very user friendly, but then it also allows you to see the growth and give you suggestions on it. I like apps that are pretty much kind of, I said pretty much kind of, that are giving you insight on here's what you're doing, here's what you could be doing, and then how you could actually move on utilize. But the reason why I think what Empower is getting right is that they've noticed what people really don't like about Credit Karma. If you love Credit Karma, it is what it is. But what Empower notices that they are taking insight on what people like about Credit Karma and what they don't like, and trying to bridge that within their platform. I know that Mint is going over to be converted. Some parts are being converted over to Credit Karma. That's what Intuit is trying to get into it with it. But a lot of people have noticed over the years that Credit Karma doesn't really give the real insight. So I talked about Monarch. I talked about Empower. The next one I'm going to talk about when it comes to budgeting is YNAB. You need a budget. YNAB aligns you to learn more about zero-based budgeting, which if I'm giving my my suggestion and seeing is that all three of those apps are talking about zero-based budgeting. If you want to learn more about zero-based budgeting, look at my website because I talk about the types of budgets and how to actually figure out what ratios align with your reality when it comes to your budgeting and spending. So with YNAB, they are zero-based budgeting. They the interface allows you to allocate what's going on with your income, what's going on with your expenses, savings, debt. Yes, the other word, as well as ensuring that your money is aligned. It gives the every dollar has a job and every job has a description when it comes to YNAB, and I love that. People have been able to control their spending, to know their spending, as well as to pay down any debt and get to your money goals faster. Who doesn't want to do that? I know I would, and I suggest that one as well. So when it comes to those three different platforms, even though I'm a little bit off track, is that each of those have things that are amazing. The thing that I would suggest to you is that they all three are giving you trials to learn about it, see how it works for you to migrate your things over. What I would suggest to you for those that are looking for budgeting apps is for you to try all three. Migrate your stuff. Figure out which one works for you, which one gives you the best interface and the best capabilities of learning your money. And then whenever the trial is over, that's who you migrate to. Go ahead and if there's a fee attached to it, go ahead and add it within your budget. And that is what I would suggest for you to do. But yes, YNAB is pretty much an all-in-one personal finance platform, and it's an OG. It's in the same graduating class as Mint, interestingly enough, and I'm glad to see it's not going away. The interest that they're inserting more artificial intelligence and upgrades within the platform to stay new, fresh, and within finance, but personal finance. The thing that I do also suggest if you are a podcast person is that they actually have a podcast as well as webinars that give you insight onto not only the platform but other capabilities. So if you have been following me for a while, you know I'm going to talk about a platform that is near and dear to my heart. Public invest. I know people when they get into investing, oftentimes they go to a hood around the block. I'm not throwing shade at the hood, but public invest is kind of the way that I see this. So you know how you're able to go on Facebook and you're able to see what people are thinking, what they're talking about. You're able to go on X and see the same thing. Take that aspect and put it into a investment app, and that's what you have with public. That's one of the things that really attracted me before even I got to where I have become when it comes to public. Is that I love the fact that you can learn about why people are investing in this, as well as seeing what CNBC is saying, and then kind of bridge that gap to figure out, okay, do I want to invest in this company? How do I want to build my portfolio? And that's where you go. That's the thing that really allowed me to grow on public, but also to know that public is somewhere that I would invest and suggest to anyone to invest. And the thing is that you're able to follow popular investors. I am a popular investor on there. Copy what we talk about, copy the insights or copy any trades, and then make live weight. They interestingly enough have allow you to buy crypto in some scale. They were doing digital assets such as Banksy. And one of the things that I do love, though, right now that they're having kind of comparable to what we were talking about with Empower, is that they have their own version of high yield savings accounts. And if you remember from my high yield savings account video, I told you that a lot of these platforms are getting ready to start giving you ways for you to save, because everyone's talking about the S&P, but nobody's talking about how people need to be saving more money. But anyway, we move. But that's one of the things that I love about public is that it kind of gives you the robo investor, but more so on the community aspect of investing. And I love how they keep taking the insights and they, interestingly enough, starting to implement artificial intelligence within their platform. So while I am talking about public invest, some other investment apps that I do recommend is, the tried and true of Fidelity, um, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, and such. But if you are looking to investment apps, please take what I said about at the top of this video is that look at what they offer. If there are any fees, most platforms now do not have any fees to trade. Back in the day, it used to be 99 cents a trade, and for each trade, sorry, it went. But most platforms do not have any fees attached to it. Though with public, they allow you to tip if you want to. I do love the fractional shares or any educational resources that public has. But that's what I would say is to shop around with it when it comes to public, I'm just interjecting this here, is that public is seen as I have a portfolio psychology or a portfolio suite. So I have my IRA. I have another that I had an IRA that actually has any old 401ks go into it. I am opening up a solo 401k due to the fact that I am a company. I have a brokerage account which is with public, and I have another one that is with my family with Charles Schwab. Then whatever when it comes to anything when it comes to my solo 401k, more than likely is going to be built on Fidelity. So that's how my investment stack. I have a blog post up or something of the sort that talks about my investment stack. So we were talking about Credit Karma and how they are seen as easy, but another credit based platform that I actually am loving, and I had the opportunity to meet them at FinCon about a year and a half ago, is this platform called StellarFi. I'm putting the word up here. It's kind of much a credit management and building system more so than anything else. What I do like is that if you are able to insert the bills you're paying or anything of that nature, and then you pay it through that app or platform, then whenever you're paying your bills on time, everyone knows when it comes to building your credit that paying your bills on time is a very big component. So with StellarFi, if you're paying your bills on time through them, you're reporting payments to your credit bureaus, the 3 credit bureaus, and then you're approving your credit scores over time, and they give you suggestions on how to do so. And then I've been seeing success stories through just watching them build over the last couple of years on how people are able to learn about their credit, learn about different aspects of building their credit, and then how to make those changes to actually build towards the financial goals that they have, period. And, interestingly enough, I know people are into credit scores or whatever. What credit score is kind of like the report card on how you handle your money. Simple as that. Um, but whenever you have a better credit score and you have the cash back in case if you're buying a house or anything of that nature, if you have a strong credit score, with a decrease in debt and have a strong savings, that is going to afford you to get better loans or anything of the sort whenever you're getting too ready to buy a house, buy a car, or make any moves, or even if you want to utilize buy now, pay later. Even though I know that, but it's not a jab at buy now, pay later, but it's just to show you if your credit score is improved, that you have other options to get your money, boo. That is it. Um, but they have a lot of information on their website, a lot of information on their blog and social media. So I do recommend that you go and see what it affords you. Again, I believe this one it's free, but they have a fee tier now. But just compare it to see what they offer along with the money goals or credit goals that you have, and then just give it a try. So if you've been following me on social media, I've been talking about HSA and FSA when it comes to flexible spending. These are two different types of accounts that are aligned to you saving and spending when it comes to health. And on the HSA side, a lot of people have been saying they have high deductible plans within their company on their benefits, but their company does not offer HSA for them. Did you know that Bank of America as well as Fidelity allows you to have an HSA? And even if you're not working, like, you're working for yourself, that is an option for you as well. The thing that I love about it is that HSAs actually allow you to save, spend, and invest a portion of it. And I talked about that over on my social media handles, and I'll probably talk about it separately in another video. But they allow you to invest within a platform that is sound, amazing, and such. And what I love about Fidelity, period, is how customer focused that they are about explaining how things work, giving you webinars, having accessibility to talking to somebody if something doesn't the math doesn't math for you. So Fidelity allows you to take the headache of the transferring of sorts and connecting. And anything going to happen if I take a portion of what I don't spend within my HSA, because HSAs do not expire, baby. The dollars don't go away. But you're able to say, for instance, at the end of the year, you saved 5,000, you only spent 3,000, so that 2,000 can actually be utilized to move over to invest in the stock market. But Fidelity allows it to happen seamlessly. And like I said, you get information on webinars and interactive information about investing, about building your HSA, about getting the maximization from that benefit of sorts. What I do love about HSAs, though, it allows the long term investment building of your money. And everyone loves to talk about, oh, use tax benefits. Yes, but it's also how you're able to build the wealth generation within that account. And that's just why I actually love Fidelity. I told you about how I utilize Fidelity as one of the ways that I am building out my solo 401k. And then now you can utilize it for your HSA. Amazing. So when it comes to Fidelity, Fidelity is a good platform. You can open up an HSA. What I would say about HSAs though is that look at what you would typically spend on your health care, whether it's going to get your teeth cleaned, if anything outside of what's within your benefits. Um, how often do you go get massages? How often do you utilize this? How do you go to a specialist? How much do you spend on skincare? Because you know you can utilize HSA, FSA to buy your skincare or any beauty products like a Sephora or Ulta or Amazon and stuff. You can Google this right here and you can find it. But whenever you are figuring out how to maximize your HSA or FSA, that you figure out what do you utilize. So, I love to say audit your wallet, audit where you have been spending when it comes to health, beauty, and wellness in the last year. Look to see how much you can itemize within your paycheck to move over to a HSA or FSA, then determine which is being afforded to you. If you have the FSA, you're still good. They just expire in the year. But if you have an HSA, those funds do not expire. And see what the contribution levels for those accounts are, and then make a plan to fund it over time. And if you don't lose it within a FSA, in an HSA, you can take whatever's left and move it into a investment vehicle like what Fidelity offers you. I had to walk you through that, but it was a lot. So I do love that about Fidelity as well as HSAs and FSAs. Okay, so that's it. There are five and apostle platforms when it comes to money, investing, credit, budgeting that you can learn and leverage through a 2024 and beyond. On my blog, we other platforms such as Trust and Will, Mama Bear Legal Docs, and other platforms that can help you learn your money, even on the estate planning side of it all. Even if you are looking for old insurance policies, is on my blog. So while like I said at the top of the video, look at what you're doing currently when it comes to your money. Your money. What aren't you doing? How are you funding the bag and fumbling the bag? And then what are your financial goals? Then you're gonna go look to see what areas that you need to focus on this year and find the app or platform that works for you. Then determine, is there a fee or is it free, and is it fit within your budget? And then when you go looking to see what it fits within your budget, how's it fit within the functionality and your user that you want to do? And the thing I want to add to this is that before you get into utilizing any budgeting apps, get a pen, get a pad, get your phone, and figure out what bills are due, what are they due, how often are they due, what APR that you have if it's a loan, and then just figure out what are those bills that you have, what when are they due, can you move the payment date if it's not working for you, and such. So I might actually make a video around that. But before you get into those budgeting apps, actually understand, what are you spending? How much income are you bringing in per paycheck? Is everything correct on the paycheck? If you have income streams, how much are you bringing in on the income streams? How much does it take for you to fund those income streams, the expense within that? So when you figure out what bills you have, what expenses you have, how much it costs to get your hair updated, how much it costs to get your hair cut, all of those things before you get into utilizing those budgeting apps, build out what your money looks like on the month to month, and then go to look to see within your pulling your receipts to see how much, what am I spending outside of that budget that is actually dumping um my money plan. And then whenever you do go find the budgeting app or the money app that works for you, you already have a full tried and true pulse of your paper going into those apps. So you could have the platform and whatever, but if it's like my fitness pal that you have it when it comes to your money, but you're not really utilizing it and you're not really being honest with yourself, you're not having accountability, how can your accounts actually match up? Technically, if you think back to it, your bank account shows your accountability, and it's like an algorithm for your audacity of how you view your money. Just saying, just keeping a spade a spade. So before you get into those budgeting apps, look at what your money is doing right now. Where are you fumbling? Where are you funding it correctly? And then get real with yourself, and then get a real understanding of what budgeting app, what investment app, what HSA, what credit app, or whatever is going to help you build those goals. You have to get real before you can realign to build the overall platforms that you need to build. So check out my blog. In the comment section, tell me what you think. What platforms are you utilizing this year? What hasn't worked? What has worked? Use those free trials, man. Just get it all for free. Understand what's working, what's not. It probably will allow you to pull your slip a bit to say, hey, you're not really saving as much as you could.